I want to tell you about compound interest and why it is it's getting you into so much trouble with your health, of all things. So, I just want to let everybody know I'm talking in metaphors here, so this is not a literal kind of thing. Nevertheless, this will illustrate a principle that I want to apply here. Now, when we are talking about injuries that you can experience or things that can happen to you, we've got major kind of injuries, and these are the things that are going to end you up in a hospital, so broken bones, dislocations, things like that. And then we're talking about things that are maybe big injuries, but the things that you can kind of seem to get away with. So here's the difference, is when you've got the major kind of injury, what it's going to do is it's going to knock you for a six, and you're going to be feeling things right off the bat. So let's say that you've been involved in a major kind of car accident, you've got whiplash, all kinds of stuff, you've got instant pain. Well, the reason you would have instant pain is because you've got enough damage that all of this has happened all at once. So let's say that normally speaking, the way that your body's going to be working is at 100% capacity, and from this one injury you've got something that's knocked you and taken off 30% off of that, and so all of a sudden you've got pain, you've got discomfort, you've got whatever it is. Now that's pretty obvious then that you need to do something about it. Now here's the problem that's going to happen with most people, is when you have an injury, it's not something that is going to cause 30% damage all at once. What it's going to do is it's going to cause 1 or 2% damage, and that's it. Now, when you've got something like that, you think, okay, well, what's the big deal? You know, I've got plenty to burn. Well, maybe you do, but the problem is that we have this thing called time. And time has a way of taking these very small things and then adding them up, like compound interest. So let's say you've got an injury that it's affected you, and your body is now working only 1 to 2% less than it was. But then next year, it's going to be another 1 to 2%. And so that little bit will start creeping up like this over a period of time. So after about 5 years or so, you might notice, oh, okay, I'm starting to feel a little stiff, a little less than you should be. Maybe I need to do a little bit more exercise. Maybe I need to watch my diet a little bit more. Another 10 years go by and you're starting to really feel things creep into your body and think, man, this is what it's like me getting older. When the reality is, no, it's not because you're getting older, it's because you have this little thing that's creeping up and you're not thinking about some kind of an injury that you had happen years or maybe even a decade ago at this point that may have created it. Then finally you get to the breaking point where things suddenly are going really wrong in your body and you arrive at that 30% that we talked about, and you are now on par with the original injury. So it's the difference between, does something happen all at once, in which case it's obvious you need to do something about it, versus something that's going to slowly creep up on you over a span of 10, 15, 20 years or even longer. And those are the kind of things that very often they're not going to kill you, but they're certainly going to make your life very unpleasant, very uncomfortable. So headaches, migraines, dizziness, vertigo, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, all of these are just illustrations or examples of the kind of things that I'm talking about, this compound interest effect that is not a factor necessarily of you getting older, but is the result of a long-standing kind of injury. And so what it means, as much as we would like to be able to boom, snap the fingers and take it all away, that is not the case, because if it was a brand new injury, it's easy to do something about. But if it's been around for years, it's going to take a lot longer to get your body to work differently, for it to rewire itself, for it to genuinely heal. So I hope this little story just might explain things a little bit more about, okay, why is it that we talk about prevention, and prevention when you are still feeling well, why it's important not just to leave things until you are feeling discomfort, feeling lots of symptoms, but why, if there's anything that can be done to help make sure that your body is working as close to 100% as possible, that we do the very best that we can. Because even over time, even that very tiny 1 to 2% can make all of the difference in the world. So if you have been dealing with some kind of a chronic health challenge, what I want you to do in this takeaway video is just a few things. So number one is, feel free to share this message if you or you know somebody else who's been dealing with some kind of a chronic issue. Number 2 is I'll have you like this, I'll have you subscribe to our page, subscribe to these kinds of videos. But then number 3 is I want you to consider, is it possible that your health-related condition today is the result of something that actually happened a long time ago? And so as a result, when you're scratching your head trying to figure out, okay, well, why is this happening? What had caused this? Is it possible that it's the result of something that happened a long time ago that you, quote, thought you got away with? These are the most common kinds of things that people will say to us, and certainly the kind of thing that if we're able to figure out what's going on, that we may actually be able to do something to help you out. This is Dr. Jeffrey Hanna at Atlas Health Australia reminding you, take care of your neck. It is your lifeline to well-being.